Well, hi guys. I have recovered. I got really sick from getting the shingles shot. I don't know why. I don't know if that's normal reaction for everybody, but you know me and my extremes. Anyway, thank you all for the nice comments and concerns. I love you all. I am a lot better. So today, I want to show you a product. Remember I told you a few videos ago that I had something that was coming in that I want to carry it on my website? Well, it's here. Now, I don't know what I'm going to sell it for yet because I have to measure the box and see what it weighs and see how much it's going to cost to ship anyway. But I'm dying to show you anyway because, I just love gadgets. Look at this. It's a little tower. I want to show you so bad. So this is what the top looks like, and this is blank here because I asked the guy why is it blank. He said, well, you could put your logo, a sticker, and I'm like, well, duh. So comes with instructions, and it has 3 working trays. Put it up here. I should have bought my table over here. Look how cool. So oh, they have letters on them. So there's 3, and it has a little spigot, and just this. It's simple, yet small enough to put like on a little table or a counter or anywhere really. That's what I love about it. So I wanted to show you that. Now you see these trays with the little holes. I did this a while ago, and I think that I'm probably the one who started this trend on YouTube, or I was the only one to actually take a chance and do it. But I have raised African night crawlers in this. See how tiny the hole is? I didn't think that I could, or even European night crawlers. I did raise them in towers like this because I thought, well, the hole is so small. You know what? Worms don't care. The African night crawler is the largest of the worms, right? But they have no bones, so they squeeze through there, and they actually go up the floors. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, and I did it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could do it. So anyway, I'm just telling you so you can raise whatever worm you want in here. Don't be afraid that they're gonna all get caught in here because they're not. So isn't this adorable? Has a little spigot. So the spigot is if you have excessive moisture, but if you ever have anything coming out of here, your bin is too wet. Many years ago, like 20 years ago, we thought that the liquid that came out of here was like gold. It's not. But it's a good way to manage your moisture. And if you know that you have liquid coming out of here, your bin is too wet, and then it's time to make some changes in here, like add more dry bedding to control that moisture. And you can also put a jar underneath and let the liquid come out, because the last thing you want is for your liquid to be sitting like in here. The worms will go down there too. You'll see worms in this entire thing. What I would do is, this is small enough to start with a 1/4 pound, which I love because if it goes bad on you, it's not a disastrous major cleanup. So those of you that are new here, I've been doing worm raising 21 years, and I have created every mistake there is to do. I have killed worms. I have created giant messes. I mean, but that's how you learn, I've learned a lot of things through the years. And by all means, I am not perfect at it. I'm not. I still do things that, like, wow, V, why'd you do that? But, I get curious and I like to experiment, so it happens. Don't beat yourself up, though, okay? Everyone makes mistakes. Just focus on what you did wrong and then troubleshoot. And you can always message me and I'll try to help you. I've helped people from all over the world, and I enjoy doing it. It's my pleasure. But anyway, I wanted to show you this little guy. Now, I don't know what kind of worms I'm gonna raise in here yet. Why don't we take a little vote? What do you want to see me raise in here? Just tell me down below. And I do have some stickers, or, you know, I don't know. I would love a sticker with Bigfoot holding a worm to go. That would be awesome. Yeah, I love Bigfoot. So anyway, I got to go put all my makeup on because I haven't done that yet. I showered and you know, got to get my makeup on and got to go to work later. So I work in the evenings and I absolutely love it. So when I have this up for sale on my website, I'll let you know. I'm telling you right now, I don't make a lot of money on these things. I don't hardly make anything, but I just like having them, and I like having them available for you. I think the biggest problem with this, or not even a problem, it's the shipping. I got to look into the shipping because the shipping is it's not cheap. I hate it. I hate the fact that they charge so much, but I do my shipping with Pirate Ship, and I'm not sponsored by them. I've just been using Pirate Ship for years, and they're like integrated with the post office, but some of their rates are cheaper, and I don't know how they do it, but they just do. So anyway, I'm going to leave you here with that, and I'm going to go to work, and then I'm going to bring you back when I'm going to feed the wormies. Okay? I'll be back. Hey guys, welcome back. So yesterday I recorded my my little tower. Do you like it? Isn't it cute? So today I'm getting some of these bins watered and fed, and in this video I'm going to show you some of my secret ingredients for my chow. I know I make my chow and I sell it, and I use my own chow, and you can, if you don't want to make it, just go on my website. You can buy it. Anything you buy on my website supports my wormery here, because you know I still have to buy a lot of supplies for these guys. So I'm gonna just pull out a few of my ingredients. Today is Friday, so I'm probably gonna make chow on Sunday, because Sunday I think is the best day for the weather. So let me just grab a few little things and I'll show you what they are. For those of you that are new, have never seen me make my chow, there are videos on here on how I make it. I'm gonna make some on Sunday. I usually make it the same, but sometimes I just tweak it a little bit depending on what I have available and what I feel they need. Because the worm's health, if you have the worm's health in top condition, you're going to have less problems. You're going to have amazing castings. And for me, I'm going to have amazing worms to sell you. So I add mineral, rock salt, not salt, rock. Oh my gosh, I keep thinking of that stuff you put on the ground in the winter. I like to add azomite minerals and dolomite lime. This is something that I grind when I make chow, but if I need some kind of grit, this is oyster shell, and I don't grind it. It's fine. I have taken it just like this and sprinkled it on. I do add some hibiscus powder to my chow and beetroot to my chow. I feel that these two things just give them vitamins and minerals that they might need. Now, one of the secret ingredients is dried molasses. So worms, they love sweet things. If you notice, they go crazy when you feed them watermelon or pumpkin or sweet potato, because those things are sweet in nature. So I do add some dry molasses to my chow. Sometimes I'll make my molasses spray with this, and I like using this. As you can tell, I've used some, but the problem that I have with this is it goes bad in your spray bottle very fast. Within 2 days or 3 days, you're going to start smelling something weird, and then at that point, just throw it out. Don't spray it on your worms. It can make your bin go anaerobic, which means it'll rot in a bad way, and you don't need that. But most of the time that doesn't happen to me, because when I make molasses spray, I use it all because I have all of this. But for you guys, you know, you can make a little bit, put a teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon in like 2 or 3 cups of water, and use it. And what it does is the sugar in here gets the worms all excited. They love it. They'll come up to eat. And the moisture in the bin is what makes them plump. So I wanted to show you some of that. I know I give away my secret ingredients to my chow, even though I sell it, but that's okay. I mean, if you don't feel like buying any of this, then just get it from me. If not, just buy your own and make it. And the ratios are, you know, I don't measure anything. I just eyeball it. But I use less of this. I don't put a whole lot of sugar in there. Less. For the amount I make, I might add a cup of this, but you're going to see when I make chow, I make it in huge amounts. But for you, you could get a bag of this and you can add a teaspoon to your whole mixture, and it's going to last you a while because this is like 5 pounds, you know. I get this on Amazon. So I just wanted to give you an inside look at some of my ingredients. There are other things that go into it, like oatmeal, and I got alfalfa, and you're going to see me grind that all out there. So there you go, guys. So I'm going to bring one of the bins up here and I'm going to check it. I'm wearing gloves because sometimes when I film, I move the camera a lot around with my tripod, and I don't like touching my camera with dirty hands because then I'm afraid it'll get on the lens. So I put gloves on to mess with them. But honestly, sometimes it just makes my hands sweaty and I ended up taking them off anyway. So I swear, sometimes working with these tripods, they drive me nuts. It takes me longer to adjust it than anything else. All right. So these bins are a little dry for my taste because the heat is on in here. And let me see if I can move this a little better. So, but as you can see, the worms are doing great. They're still around this banana. Woo! Look at them. They're all excited. Oh, I love them. These are Eisenia fetida, red wigglers. There are no blue worms in here. And if you think that they're crazy excited like that, well, red wigglers do get excited and very moving like this when they're healthy, and then sometimes they're just lazy other days, you know. I never know. So I'm gonna bury their banana back over here with them, and I'm gonna wet the edges. I do have I had to charge my watering thing. And don't worry, I'm not drowning them. As I wet it, sometimes I'll mix it if I think that the bedding underneath won't get wet. Now, breeding bins should be about 80% moisture, which is obviously more on the wet side. But you got to be careful and watch very closely, you know. You don't want to over wet it and then it goes sour on you. Guys, the secret to plump worms: moisture. When your bin is moist, the worms, like, it's almost like they're little sponges. They suck up that water. I am gonna add some grit to this one. And you see, I'm not grinding it. Just go like this, it's fine. And I'm gonna get them some of the chow. So Sunday hopefully is the day I'm gonna make chow. Now I usually go like this. Sometimes I've gone like this just to see what they do, just to see the difference. Either way, the worm will come up from underneath and they'll pull that chow down into the bedding, and that's how they'll eat it. Red wigglers, European night crawlers, African night crawlers, you know, they're all worms that have tremendous appetites, like I'm telling you. Yeah. The African night crawler, they love carbon. They love like cardboard and junk mail and newspaper. They'll devour all that stuff, which is good because, you know, you don't want that out there in the landfill. Why not get beautiful fertilizer from it. Let me grab the other one. Now usually I go on this wall and I pull back the plastic and I do one by one, section by section. But just for close up for you guys, I'm just putting a few on here so I could just show you how I do it. And this entire room, because I also have that wall, doesn't take me very long because it's very organized. I'd say about an hour, maybe a little more, to do everything. But sometimes I stop in between, you know, I go take a break, or, you know, Joe calls me and I go spend time with him. So I'm talking to Joe about coming on the video with me live, so you guys could meet him, at least the ones that haven't seen him. Joe is my husband, and he helps me with everything in here as far as building and assembling, and he'll buy me something if he thinks I can use it. And he's very, very handy. I love having him around. Look how pretty they are. And he's used to my worms and knows all about the worms with me and how wild I've been about them for, you know, 21 years. Me and Joe been together about 28 years. When I told him I wanted worms, he's like, oh, okay. You know, it didn't faze him because he knows how I am. So, look at them. You notice how the Acinia fetida has that little yellow tail. I noticed that European night crawlers have that little yellow tail too. So they're really liking this banana. So you see that mold, don't worry about it. It doesn't hurt anything or do anything. Sometimes I just go like this to help them out a little bit. I don't have to, but you know, I don't know. I'm like a worm mom. You know, we had 4 kids, and I was all over my kids. Just being a good mom. Oh my God, I turned it on. So this sprayer holds about 4 gallons, maybe a little more of water. It's battery charged, and I absolutely love it. It really helps me out in here. So for those of you that have been around a little bit, you notice something? I'm getting a little more strength in my thumbs, just a little. So a couple of years ago when I had COVID the first time, it was very, very bad and I almost died. And when I recovered, I have some damage done to my nerves and my thumbs to where sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So I've been doing some hand exercises and I'm doing better gripping things. And, you know, I don't let something like that stop me. Like, I don't consider it a disability or anything. Sometimes you'll see me grab things with them, and sometimes see, sometimes I can't. They have no strength. So, but I just keep going. You know, I don't let things bother me a lot. People ask me all the time, why are you so joyful and happy? And I don't know. I think it's just my personality. But I will tell you something. My dad, you know, I'm Cuban. My family's Cuban. Everyone's Cuban. My dad was a political prisoner in Cuba. He rebelled against the government. And they put him in a concentration camp for 4 years as punishment. So my dad has always been very lovey and easygoing and happy-go-lucky. And when I remember asking him when I was little one time, I said, Dad, why are you always so happy? Like nothing ever bugs you. And his answer was, he said, when you have seen the worst in life, things like a flat tire or the sink leaking is nothing. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, yeah, if you think about it like that. And he always told me, don't let things like that bother you. Just do what you can to fix it and move on with life. And I'm like, you're right. Very wise man. So I guess that's why I'm like that. I got it from my dad. And my mom, amazing woman. She's in heaven. She very strong woman. Very independent. A tremendous cook. And she took me in the kitchen when I was 10 and taught me to cook. And So that's why I'm a head cook today. I cooked for a living for about 4 years in a jail. And I cooked for a lot of people, and I really enjoyed cooking there. I feel like I made a difference. But, you know, life just happens, and I have a different job now, which I'm very happy at. And I do my worms part-time, and my Etsy shop. Like, I have my Garden Lady Etsy shop. I have my website. And I have my other worm channel, the Composting Worm Lady. And I have an Etsy shop where I put all my knitting projects and my crochet projects and things like that, because, you know, I'm able to do those things again. So, and that's called the Knitted Gift Company. So, and all these things I do and sell, it's money for my wormery. Look at that. People ask me how much money I make doing this. Right now, honestly, I'm breaking even. I don't like to get into debt. When I started this business, I didn't take out a business loan. I didn't do any of that. Joe and I just saved, and whatever we saved, we put it into the worms and supplies and the shelves and everything. So it's been little by little, you know. But I just feel that's the best way to do it. If you can, you know. Some people can't do it that way, and they have to take out loans and stuff. And just, you do what you have to do, but just try to be responsible with it. The banana's mush. These worms are doing great. So I'm hoping by spring, they're going to be up for sale, guys. So you'll have pure red wigglers. And blue worms, you know, they're not bad worms. I've worked at them years ago. But they're just, they're moody. And they can be a little challenging. As far as composting, though, they compost great. What I don't like about the blue worm and all that is the dishonesty in the industry. People are selling red wigglers, and they're saying they're red wigglers, and then people get them and they're blue worms. And then I get a lot of messages, you know, V, help me, I don't know what to do. And I help everyone I can. So some days the blue worm will be fine. They're very hyper, very active, and you'll be fine with them in the farm. And then the next day you'll come and they'll be all over the place. So if you ever have blue worms and you want to raise them, I suggest you do it in a bucket, and you cut a hole in the lid and you tape a mesh around it and try to conceal them that way. But even then, sometimes they still get out. So it depends on what you're willing to deal with. You know, some people like that challenge, and that's okay. That's a-okay. It's up to you. Some people like raising blue worms as a hobby, you know. I've had people call me and ask me if I'll breed only blue worms. And as much as I would love to, keeping them contained would, like, I don't know. I would definitely not have them in here. So I don't know. I think that's more of a hobby thing. But if I ever know anyone that sells blue worms, I think I know someone that sells them like as blue worms. Honestly, I'll ask that person if I could recommend. This is just cocoons over here. There is a worm or two that might have escaped me when I put them in here, but that's all right. I just leave them in here. They don't do anything. You see how dry the surface gets because of that vent up there? Now in the summer, you won't see this as much because there'll be air conditioning in here. I'm telling you, these worms, they live in the lap of luxury. They really do. I have them like they are the king and queens in here. But I'm lucky to have this room to be able to have them in. So, but yeah, this wormery is inside my house. Why do I keep turning this off? I think I'm gonna lose the battery. Before the video's over, I don't wanna have to go recharge it, you know? So cocoons, you know, you got to keep them moist or they're not going to hatch. They're just not. Moisture is the key. So because I did see a couple of worms in here, I am going to sprinkle a little chow on the surface for them. Just so they can have something to eat. Other than the bedding, you know. There you go, guys. I love worms. I always have. I think I love them as much as I love Bigfoot. So if you guys have made it this far, subscribe if you like my content. Go to my other worm channel, the Composting Worm Lady. And there I show you my my personal worm farms that I have upstairs that I use for my personal food scraps. They're all in towers. So you see how they eat the newspaper? This is a learning experience right here. Look at the castings. I hope you can see it. See how it has, let me move over here so maybe you can see. See how it has a lot of white in it? That's because they're eating the newspaper in this section. And castings, when you have a worm farm that has paper, a lot of paper or only paper, the castings will look like this. They'll look kind of grayish, or you'll see the little flakes of paper in there. And that's okay. It's not a biggie. Look at this little guy. Look at this little fine fellow right here. So little baby worms are called wisps. Isn't that a cute name? Sounds kind of whimsical. I love it. So this bin is a little dry too. It's just been so cold here in Indiana that the heat's been pumping, you know. So I'm gonna take this wad of paper and I'm gonna bury it over here. And then I'm gonna wet this down really good and hopefully that will just absorb a lot of the water. Ah! I went outside the bin. The floor got wet. That's all right. So there, that paper will get the moisture nice. Have you all watched some of my videos where I've had trouble in here? I film everything. It's not always roses in here, believe me. I have had problems in here and I have filmed it, and I have also showed you like what I've done to fix the problem. So yeah, my channel's very real. Nothing is made up in here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this channel and this video. Let me check one cocoon bin with you and let's just see what's going on in here. So little worm cocoons, they look like little eggs or little lemons. Oh, I hear Olive out there. So some of these are starting to hatch. I see little ones already. Like, yeah, look. Yeah, there are little ones starting to hatch in here. When I have cocoons starting to hatch, I'm very, very delicate with them because they're so tender. They're like babies. I don't wanna hurt them at all. So I'm very gentle when I mix up their bedding. And I mix up their bedding to get some oxygen in there. This is beautiful, this bedding, the way it feels and the castings that are in here. So little worm cocoons, when they're first hatched, they're like yellow like this. See how yellow that is? And then as they're ready to start hatching, they start turning darker, kind of like an amber color. And that's how you know. See, even though there are cocoons in here, some larger worms escaped me and went in here. And that's okay. I just leave them. They're fine. We're gonna wet this down. So be careful working with castings, because sometimes they're so fluffy that I have gone like this and have gotten it in my mouth. And one time I got castings in my eye, and I had to go and wash my eye out. I've had castings in my hair, down my shirt. Oh yeah, I've done it all. And these chunks that I'm not grinding right now will just, in time, they'll just break apart. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and hopefully the weather will be okay. And let me get this in there, and I will get out there on Sunday and we're gonna make chow together. So subscribe and like and ring that little bell, because you know YouTube keeps an eye on all these things and helps me out. And share my videos to people who want to learn about worm composting or worm farming. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.